Hi, my name is Samantha Frucci, and this is my curriculum audit that is focused on curriculum design and delivery. In this talk, I will be talking about the difference between curriculum design versus curriculum delivery. I will talk about the CHALK checklist, the ASCD audit tool, and the CRE audit tool. Let's talk about the difference between curriculum design versus curriculum delivery. Curriculum design is the creation of the overall course, the mapping of the content to learning objectives and standards. Curriculum delivery is instructional strategies that are used in the classroom by teachers. The CHALK checklist is an ongoing curriculum audit tool process that seeks continual improvement in the curriculum. It's an 8-step curriculum audit guide that helps you create an effective and clear curriculum. It analyzes what is successful and not successful in increasing your student performance. You can look at this as a road trip analogy. Where are we now? So analyze your current practice. Where are we going? What are your goals? And how will we get there? What are your needs? When using the CHALK checklist, I honed in on the curriculum aspect of it. The curriculum that I chose to audit was Benchmark Advanced Florida, which is the newly adopted ELA curriculum for all K-2 classrooms in Manatee County. It is horizontally and vertically aligned. The materials that come with it are authentic, standards aligned, and accessible by all. The only thing that I felt lacking was the professional development, as it is not ongoing. Professionals were only provided with one PD regarding our new curriculum, and all that was given to us was an overview of how to access the materials. And the only other thing that was stated was to use it to fidelity. I do feel that if they provided more instructional videos or more professional development on how to include these into a normal ELA block in the classroom, that teachers would be more successful in implementing this curriculum. The next thing we're going to talk about is the ASCD tool, audit tool. It assists curriculum developers, teachers, leaders to determine if their curriculum is effective. It uses a rating scale to evaluate the alignment of your curriculum with various curriculum design principles. It can be used for reviewing a school curriculum or a district curriculum, and it can also be used by teachers to engage in action research and curriculum development. The ASCD curriculum audit portion that I chose to focus on was the second part. If you add up the scores and get a 5 in all of the sections in part 2, you would get a total score of 35. Benchmark Advanced Florida scored a 20 out of 35. It does a very good job at presenting the core curriculum, but I don't feel that it emphasizes student understanding, but instead it emphasizes standard exposure over mastery. The next tool we're going to talk about is the CRE, and this is to determine the extent to which ELA curricula is culturally responsive. It was created to provoke thinking about how students should learn, what they should learn, and how curriculum can be transformed to engage students effectively. This is a 7-step scorecard. The scorecard can be used to determine the diversity of your curriculum, and it also embeds key indicators that evaluators should address as they prepare for improvements to their curriculum. This is an example of the CRE scorecard that I used for Benchmark Advanced Florida. I focused on the representation section of the scorecard. This section helps determine which students in your school are reflected within your curriculum. It talks about ethnicities and nationalities that are portrayed, that not all Asian families are Chinese, not all Latinx families are Mexican. It also talks about students with disabilities, and it also talks about traditions and different family structures. This is the first layer of the CRE analysis scorecard. Benchmark Advanced Florida scored a positive 17 when I did this scorecard with the curriculum. It was actually very easy because Benchmark Advanced gives you a spreadsheet of all of the titles and authors and characters that are used within the curriculum for each grade level. So I was easily able to see each text that they give you to teach with and what type of character is in it and whether or not it uses stereotypes or different ethnicities. One of the things that I thought was really cool is that they actually put in there that there is a story about a girl with Down syndrome. So it does have the characters with disabilities represented within. Although that is only one story, I feel that they could add a little bit more stories. So their score of positive 17 means that they are culturally aware. So they can capture a decent representation of characters, and they are generally portrayed in accurate ways. There is some diversity among authors and illustrators, but not complete diversity of authors and illustrators. When my curriculum audit is complete, I will be sharing my data with my stakeholders and my colleagues. For my stakeholders, I would be giving them a summary report highlighting the major features of my audit. And for my colleagues, I would provide them a short presentation, usually with a PowerPoint, accompanied by a summary flyer that highlights our findings. This is a practice that we do at my school. That way we all have a better understanding, and the PowerPoint would elaborate the findings more for our colleagues. This would be my tentative timeline in this curriculum audit. In August, I would recruit my team members and establish the different data collection tools, and we would also determine when we would be meeting. Then our first meeting would occur in October. We would talk about our procedures and practices of our curriculum audit. We would also determine that we would be using the ASCD audit tool because we are auditing the design and delivery of the curriculum, and we would assign tasks for part 1 of the ASCD audit tool. In December, we would meet to review and analyze the data that we have collected for part 1, and then we would go into assigning tasks for the collection of parts 2, 3, and 4 because they all piggyback off of each other. In January, we would meet again and review and analyze the data that we collected for parts 2, 3, and 4, and then we would continue by assigning collection tasks for parts 5 and 6. In March and also carried over into April, we would review and analyze the data collected for parts 5 and 6, and then we would finalize all of our audit scores. In May, we would begin to present our findings to our stakeholders and our colleagues. We would present the stakeholders with the summary report, and we would present our colleagues with a short presentation and a flyer summarizing our findings and elaborating those findings within those presentations.